What's up guys, it's Darwin. I'm coming at you from the back of my Model 3 and I'm coming at you from the car today because I just drove the ID4 at the Volkswagen test drive event. So I wanted to give you guys my thoughts while the thoughts are fresh in my head after driving the ID4, comparing it to how the Tesla's driving, and there are some good and there's some bad. So the event itself was hosted by Volkswagen and it was an underground parking structure. It was very well organized, very easy process to sign in, give them my license, and just take the car and go for a test drive. Because of the COVID restrictions, me and my wife just took the car and we got to do our own thing, which I actually prefer that compared to having someone in the car seat with us. Now they did play like a little audio tour type of thing, but we just turned the audio off and got to experiment. So the ID4 was actually at the top of my list at one point, and then I canceled the order because I do believe the government's going to come out with some EV incentives, which will include Tesla, Chevrolet, and I just want to keep my options open, especially if we can wait for Tesla's vehicles with the new battery cells implemented. I think that's going to drive down the cost by quite a bit. Now, with that being said, I want to give my impressions on the ID4. I was able to test drive it, check out the back seats, check out the trunk, check out everything about the car. So these are my impressions about it. So at the test drive event, they actually wrapped the cars, made them look really unique. I thought it looked really cool. Obviously, it wouldn't come like this from the factory. And I honestly think this is one of the best looking all-electric SUVs available. I think it looks better than the Model Y. I honestly think it looks better than the Mach-E. It's pretty close with the Mach-E, but it definitely looks better than the Model Y. And that's because it doesn't have that sloping roofline. And it definitely makes it look a little bit more substantial, a little more solid. Which I actually like that style. In addition to just like the shape of the car, there's very nice silver color accents. This is available on the first edition. It has the silver roof rails, and this all makes the car look very SUV-like. Now, moving into the interior of the car, it looks like a fresh interior. Everything looks really roomy. It looks really nice, minimalistic, but at the same time, it has a high-quality feel. It definitely feels more like an Audi than like a Volkswagen. The seats are super nice and plush, even though they're not leather seats. They're super nice and plush. They're heated. The two front seats actually have lumbar massage option, which I used during the whole entire test ride, and that was an awesome feature. I love the fact that you can sit down, turn the seat massager on, and you're good to go after especially like a long day of work. You can sit down, get that nice lumbar massage, and it can really be a de-stressing factor. Now, one of the things that really stuck out was the amount of space that the car had. The first thing I did when I saw this car was jump into the back seat because I was really impressed with the amount of leg space that I got. Okay, so compare the ID4 to the Model 3, where now I'm sitting behind myself and I have to have my feet all the way tucked as close as I can to the seat, and my knees are up in the air, and after a long time, you can see how this can be quite uncomfortable. So at least when compared to the Model 3, yes, the ID4 is a lot more comfortable when it comes to seating. In addition to that, you also have a huge trunk, which doesn't slope, so you can put more things in it vertically, right up against that back tailgate, and it should be a lot more space than either the Mach-E or the Model Y because they slope down. Now, after checking out the car, exterior, interior, and just evaluating the design a little bit, we got to have some fun taking the car out for a drive. Now, during this drive, I felt like it was a solid electric car. Like, it had the instant torque, it had the nice smooth feeling, but it didn't have the features that electric car fanatics really love, such as the one pedal driving. The fact that it didn't have that was kind of disappointing. So when it comes to driving dynamics, I mean, it's better than any gasoline-powered vehicle out there, that's for sure. But when it comes to comparing it with like a Tesla drivetrain, even the BMW i3 drivetrain, I feel that they have some improvements to make. I mean, it's a solid, powerful electric vehicle with a bunch of torque, but at the end of the day, it didn't have the Tesla amount of power. Hopefully that'll change with the dual motor variant, but this rear-wheel drive variant just didn't have the power, it didn't have the punch, even though it was quick. So 0 to 60 around 8 seconds, which is pretty quick for a city car, but it's not going to give you that highway punch that you really feel, especially with a performance electric car. With that being said, I don't feel like that's a big flaw in this specific car because everything about the car, and you really got to drive it to get this feeling, everything about the car seems like it was made for comfort. Everything from the massage chair to the plush seats to the space in the back to just like the solid feeling of the car, like the solid closing of the door, the soft touch materials, everything, like the way it absorbs the potholes in the LA streets, everything felt like it was made for comfort. This is what I miss on the Tesla. This solid thumb right here. You don't get that in a Tesla, right? So part of it's because there is a frame, but also because the Tesla, I don't know, it's just like this, every time you close the door, it feels like there's a little bit of rattle. But with the VW, when you close this door, that is a solid thump. It feels like a car made for families, made for comfort, made to, you know, get you to point A to point B in the most comfortable, most relaxed way possible. And I really felt like the ID4 does that well. It's really a comfortable ride. It's soft, it's smooth, it's quick. It has enough power, but not too much power where, you know, if you punch it, it made everybody in the car feel nauseous. That's something that happens in electric cars, where if you're too much on that pedal or too quickly off the pedal, it can make people in the car feel a little nauseous. Now, something we definitely got to talk about is the infotainment system, which in my opinion is definitely lacking. It was quite confusing because you had the touchscreen, but you also had capacitive sliding touch sensitive buttons to control like the volume, the climate control, and then switching in between Apple CarPlay and the regular home screen apps in Volkswagen infotainment system was quite confusing. Like we definitely, it was definitely a learning curve. After you get it all set up and you're going, it's all right. Like for example, if you already have your map up, you have your music going, then it's flowing okay. But then if you want to go back to your climate control and change something very specific, like the speed of the fan, you got to go into climate, which, you know, takes your map completely away. And then, you know, in order to reopen your map, it's a few clicks. So it's definitely not as intuitive as like the Tesla system, for example, but I feel like it's something that they can improve. Like if they were able to integrate everything into that Apple CarPlay or Android Auto screen without having you leave Apple CarPlay, Android Auto in order to adjust your climate the way you want it, then that's fine. Like overall, the infotainment system was all right. Like they had your seat heater, quick button toggles on screen whenever you needed it, but if you wanted to heat your steering wheel, you needed to open up climate control, which closes everything else out, especially like your maps and everything like that. So you have to open up this new screen, turn on your heated steering wheel, close that screen, and then open up your maps. That was a little bit counterintuitive. Having this sunshade is really awesome. Being able to close it is also something that the Tesla does not give you an option for. Even though it's like tinted very well and it blocks out the heat decently well, it still gets hot. This sunshade option is really awesome, being able to control it. So my first impressions after a drive with the ID4, sitting in the back seat, going through all the functions and everything like that, is that it's a solid car. And it's a great alternative to the Model Y. Model Y, Tesla just dropped the standard range option, which was like 242 miles. The ID4 gives you 250 miles at $40,000. The Tesla Model Y starts at $49,000. So, I mean, that's quite a step up. You know, $9,000 for the Model Y for less room. Sure, you're getting better acceleration, you're getting better horsepower, you're getting a better driving dynamic, but is that really worth $9,000? And that's before the federal tax credit. So the Volkswagen can be had like for like 32, 33, and that's before state credit. So I mean, even after that, you're looking at under $30,000 in some states. And with the Model Y, you're only getting those state incentives. So you're looking at like mid 40s, whereas Volkswagen, you're looking at like the 30s. You're probably not mashing the accelerator pedal down to the floor trying to get the best enjoyment roller coaster feeling every single day. You're trying to get your kids to and from school, to and from soccer practice. So having driven the car, my first impressions of the car are, man, it's a solid vehicle. It is a solid vehicle, especially the way it was built, the way the door slammed and you hear that thump. Like when you close the door, it's just solid. The road noise is gone. The comfort level's on another level, better than the Tesla, in my opinion. I feel like the turning radius is better than the Tesla. The driving dynamics are, you know, it's a lot softer. It looks like the ID4 is definitely made with comfort in mind. And then Tesla's like the other extreme, right? Tesla's going to give you the best performance, but they're going to sacrifice a little bit in terms of space, especially with the sloping roof. I definitely felt like I had way more space in the ID4 compared to the Tesla. And honestly, it does everything well. It does everything well, but it doesn't do everything great. Like the ID4, I wasn't able to really access adaptive cruise control on the streets because it just took so long for me to figure out how to get it started, how to set the speed. But if I was in a Tesla, all I would do is double tap the down button and I'm in autopilot. Like it's done. But I do respect Volkswagen. They did create this, you know, driving event, which was dedicated towards electric vehicles, which I am all for. Like, as much of a fan I am of Tesla, I got the car, I got the solar roof, I own a bunch of stock. I want more than one successful automaker than just Tesla. Like, it's just gonna suck to have nothing but Teslas everywhere on the road. I'm a car fan. I want cars to exist. I want there to be competition because that's how cars get better. And I want Volkswagen to come up with different ideas. And I want to be able to compare those ideas and see which one is better and have a battle of ideas. Yeah, Elon's a genius, but Elon's way is not the only way to get things right. So, I definitely appreciate Volkswagen for holding this event. It was a great event. Like, I was able to just pull in to the parking structure, walk up one level, and there all the cars were, and I was able to just sign in, give my license over, and just drive the cars. And it was super helpful. They had people just informing us about the vehicle and not trying to do any hard sells or anything like that. It was really a great experience. Unlike, you know, it's unlike walking to a dealership. So I'm really glad that they're changing their approach when it comes to educating their customers, because, you know, if you provide your customers with just good knowledge, they'll make the best decision. It's a great car. The ID4 is a great car, but after driving it, I can't see myself in the ID4 due to one main reason, and that's just the way that it drives. The fact that it cannot regen to a stop, and that's not even an option, that's a killer feature for me. When I drive my Tesla, I never even use the brake pedal. I never use the brake pedal, and I don't want to go back to using the brake pedal. Once you drive an EV, you'll understand. It's a feature that most people just cannot go back to. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you can wait, the future is extremely bright for electric vehicles, right? So Teslas might be overpriced for now, but I feel like in the next 5 years, Tesla's going to be dropping their prices like crazy. If you can wait to get a car, wait as long as you can before you get a car. There's some exciting vehicles coming out. The Mustang Mach-E has rave reviews. Hyundai coming out with the Ioniq 5 in 2022 or later in 2021. That's a super exciting car. I can't wait to check that out. So I wouldn't want to invest or put all my eggs in one basket and get a Model Y now, and later on, you know, all these exciting, great cars come out, and I'm not able to make the best decision. Let's wait for more choices, and in the end, we're going to be able to make the best decision for us. And hopefully, it's not just Tesla, as much as I love Tesla. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.